Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Yoshi's Woolly World. Last time we defeated Bowser and saved all of our Yoshi friends and restored them here on Craft Island. And in this episode, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all the different things that we unlocked from beating the main game. Starting off, I want to go ahead and show our file here on the file select screen. As you can see, we have flags next to all the worlds here on our file select showing that we beat them, but we also got a star on our file. This here is for getting all the stars in all the levels on the game. So we went out of our way and 100% completed every single level, getting all 4 things in a level. So all the hearts, all the flowers, all the wool, and all the stamps gives you a star in that respectful level. Getting all stars in the game gives you a star on your file. So that's what that means, and that makes you feel pretty accomplished. Although we're not done yet with levels, there's still a handful more levels for us to complete. But as we jump back into our file here, we can see a couple of different Yoshis now here on Craft Island. We can still pick from our green or red Yoshis, but now we have a lot more here to choose from. We got ourselves a pink Yoshi, a black Yoshi, yellow Yoshi, white Yoshi, light blue Yoshi, purple Yoshi, blue Yoshi, and orange Yoshi. The final cutscene we seen after defeating Bowser, we freed all these Yoshis. These were all the Yoshis we seen in the intro cutscene. Since we freed those Yoshis from our final level of the game, now we can go ahead and choose these Yoshis to play from in any of the levels that we choose. I should note though that any of the 3 files you're playing on dictates the starter Yoshi you get. So since I chose file 1, I got a green Yoshi. In order to pick the pink or light blue Yoshi on this file, you need to go ahead and beat the game to unlock them. So this is how you can play as the other 2 colors that you missed out on from choosing a said file. So that's just one thing to note, but I want to go ahead and show off something here. As you can see, we got this big patch of yarn here in the center, and it shows that we need a certain amount of flowers in order to open it up. We're 5 flowers shy actually of unlocking whatever level this is. So let's just go ahead and jump back into World 6, because we did unlock a level here from getting all the flowers in this said world. So, doing so, we need to get our final special level here of World 6, but let's make our way back up this pipe here to the top, and we have ourselves a Yoshi to play as up here. We got ourselves Baby Bowser Yoshi. Earlier in this Let's Play, we actually did show off the Bowser amiibo, which is very similar to this Bowser Yoshi that we're playing as now. They are actually slightly different, so it is technically a different Yoshi. So if you don't have the Bowser amiibo, all you gotta do is just get all the yarn in the final level to get a Bowser Yoshi. But now we're gonna take him into Skeleton Gooni's Lava Lair. And here, I'm gonna go ahead and choose the See Hidden Items badge, but if you use the immunity to fire and lava, this level becomes a lot easier. There is a lot of fire and lava this level, and if you make one wrong move, you're going to fall in that lava and die instantly. So using the immunity to fire badge here makes this level a heck of a lot easier. But we're not using that badge, so I got to be very careful here. I'm going to go ahead and eat some of these birds flying by to get me some eggs. And I'm going to go ahead and collect our collectibles along the way, as obvious that sounds. Gonna ride this platform down to get ourselves our first flower and immediately make our way over to the second flower. Gotta keep on bouncing on these birds, getting an extra flutter. And I want to be very careful here with this fire. I don't want to clip this at all because then I'll fall straight down to the lava and die. So let's not do that, please. Gonna go ahead and be very careful here. Try to jump over that fire, barely making it. And let's just flutter our way up to this platform. Be very careful. Ride this platform down. Throw an egg at this cloud to reveal another platform that we need to go ahead and use in order to cross this gap. And now, let's go ahead and get ourselves a flower here. And this pipe is just going to keep on dropping these birds out. So if you need more eggs, just hover around this pipe here, and then you'll keep on getting your supply of eggs. Now I got a full set of eggs. Let's go ahead and continue on. I'm going to go ahead and throw 3 eggs here at this fire blorg. Doing so, it'll lead me to a piece of wool. Now let's jump over the second fire blorg that's over here and get me some more stamps. Hit these clouds here. First cloud's gonna have ourselves a pack of wool. Second cloud's gonna have a bunch of beads. Third one's gonna have a flower. So there is a lot for us to collect here. Gonna be very careful. Gonna ride this platform down a little bit. I was hoping to get that bird, but unfortunately that did not work out. Just gonna wait a little bit here. Let the bird move. Grab him. Barely jump out of the way of the fire. Grab me some Shy Guy eggs here. And let's continue onwards. I have more than enough eggs to complete this level now. Bounce on the birds. Get more flutters. Get me some more beads. Be very careful not to hit the blarg on the way down. That was really scary. Ride this platform down to get our final thing of wool. Enter the pipe up above by bouncing off the bird. Hit our final cloud here, revealing all of our hearts, our final flower, and our final bead. There was a lot to process there. Just so much danger and death. But we did it. We got all the collectibles first try, and we even got a bonus game. Man, Bowser, you were really evil. Taking away all these Yoshis and just using their yarn for your own purpose. But when you get to a lava stage, you really know how to complete things and help out a buddy. You did a really good job. But now let's go ahead and see what our bonus game is. Could be one of our last bonus games of the Let's Play, so hopefully we get a good one. This isn't a good game. I don't like this one much. Let's just hope we get a decent amount of points, I guess, from this, because, yeah, this is definitely one of the harder ones to get a lot of points. Let's go ahead, grab ourselves some fruit here as fast as we can. Get the watermelon falling down. Turn around immediately, grab me some apples here. Got myself an extra set of fruit, more time. That's good, because I'm going to need as much time as I can get. I'm not going to get all these pieces of fruit, but I'm going to try to get as much as I can. And there we go. How much should we get at the end here? 2,200? That's not bad. It's probably one of my best runs of this kind of bonus game. I'll take it. That's not an easy one to get a lot of beads, so that's honestly not a bad score for the game, and I have more than enough now to afford that Sea Hen Items badge once more. Which is good, because there is one more level for us to play. Now that we've 100% completed every level and got all the flowers, a new course is now opened up back in Craft Island. This is our final level of the game, but before going over there, we do have ourselves a Yoshi that we need to bat together. We just unlocked the NES Yoshi. And this definitely looks like an NES. Black and gray, and it has a little thing around the back here for the buttons. So yeah, this is definitely an NES Yoshi. Honestly, out of all the systems, the NES is definitely one of the harder ones for me to go back to nowadays, simply just because a lot of the games are kind of hard to play on that hardware. The NES is kind of a faulty system, if you want to be honest. It's very prone to failing. If I'm going to play any of those games, I'm playing them via emulation services like the Wii or Wii U Virtual Console, or even the Nintendo Switch Online. Let's make our way into the boss tent here. This tent is how we'll rematch every boss in the game, but they are more powerful than ever. We need to go ahead and beat every boss here to unlock a whole bunch of wool. And there's 3 different tiers of wool. You want to beat a set of 4 bosses to unlock a new Yoshi, and that's our goal. So we're going to be going through this boss tent and fighting all the bosses once more, but with a twist. So jumping on into things here, we got our first fight here, Big Montgomery. And as you can see, he's moving really, really fast. The gimmick to the boss tent is that in order to make this harder, they just sped up every single boss, and this is really, really fast. I feel like this is quadruple the speed of normal fights, because this is insane, if you want to be honest. I don't really like the boss tent much because they sped these guys up way too much. Some bosses are extremely difficult due to how much I sped them up, and sometimes they're next to impossible to hit. I'm not a fan of how fast this was. If this was just double the speed, it probably would have been much better than how it was now. I probably would actually like this mode, but as it stands with how fast these bosses move, I'm not a fan. It's very easy to get blindsided by an attack and just die to these bosses because they move too quick, comboing you. And you gotta be very careful when you fight these bosses because you only get 10 hearts and you can't refill those hearts during the boss fight. So 3 hits to these bosses and you're dead. You get a game over here on one of these bosses, so you take your 3 hits and die, and you have to redo the boss fight. So you gotta be very careful here. So yeah, I'm gonna do my very best here not to take too much damage, but it can easily happen because I could just easily get blindsided from something. So here, with Bert the Bashful, I feel like out of all the bosses, it's probably one of the easier ones to do in this boss tent because him being sped up really doesn't change the fight all too much if you want to be honest. All we gotta do here is be very careful where he moves around, but then just throw the eggs at him at the right timing, knock him down, and then he's done. I kind of feel like it's a little bit easier to stun lock him here in the boss tent than is normally. Speeding up this boss fight in a way kind of made it easier. Yeah, I feel bad for Bert. He was already one of the easiest bosses in the game, but speeding him up didn't really make him any harder. Poor Bert. Maybe one day he'll become a hard boss, but for now, he's not really too bad. Let's go ahead and take on our next boss here, Notwing the Koopa. This boss tent highlights that flaw I mentioned earlier on in this Let's Play, where there's a lot of recycled boss fights just with some slight changes. We see Big Montgomery and Notwing the Koopa 3 times each year, so we'll definitely see the recycling issue with these little mid-bosses. And it honestly does feel a little stale, because half of the boss tent you are just kind of fighting 2 bosses over and over again. But again, that's more of a problem with the game, not really the mode in particular. They just really like Big Montgomery and Notwing the Koopa. My major issue with the boss fights is just the reuse of these two. I don't know why they reuse these guys so much, but they just did. But luckily Notwing isn't really too bad here. His movement speed does make the fight a little bit harder, but as long as you're constantly moving, then you should be fine. So just constantly moving this fight, and you'll just go ahead, eat him up, stomp on him 3 times, and get yourself your wool. We got one more boss here in the set of 4, and it's Bunsen the Hot Dog. So let's go ahead and take him on. The World 2 boss is making a return. Bunsen the Hot Dog. You got that funny pun name. Hot Dog because you're a hot dog. Not like the food or anything, it's just you're a dog with fire. Clever. We're going to take his cleverness and burn him with it. Gotta be very careful here because I can't use any of my badges. So this fight is actually a lot easier main game if you're using the immunity to lava badge, but I don't have access to that here. All I have is a stun lock because I got stuck behind the guy for a second there. That was a little scary, but I was surprised I was able to get out of that so easily once I threw an egg at him. That was my saving grace, the egg. So I gotta be very careful here because again, I can't use any badges to make this easier, so it's just raw skill here. Gonna just go ahead and wait for him to shoot out some fire, tie up his mouth and ground pound the tongue, and there's hit 2. Now just gotta wait for him to jump in the background and shoot a lot of fire here. This fire moves very fast, so I'll just flutter jump through all this. Be very careful. And he should be done. Yep, there he goes. Time for him to stomp and jump up above, buddy. You know you want to. Spit out some fire here. And let's just tie him up before he spits at me. Ground pounds tongue one more time. And he is down, revealing 2 pieces of wool. The 4th boss in these sets of 4 will drop 2 pieces of wool. And that gives us a new Yoshi. So our first set is done here in the boss tent. Let's go ahead and see what Yoshi that gives us. So for defeating the first 4 set of bosses here in the boss tent, we knit back together the bronze Yoshi. So let's go ahead and take a look at that Yoshi, shall we? As soon as we leave the tent, our bronze Yoshi should be right out here in front. So as soon as we leave, hopefully he should be on my left or my right. Oh good, Yoshi's on my right. Very convenient. This is bronze Yoshi. Not really a fan because he's just basically a brown Yoshi with some sparkles that are kind of hard to see. Especially if you're playing the 3DS, those sparkles are barely noticeable. I'm not really a fan, and plus I'm not really fond on this coloring choice. The brown that they use for bronze is not my favorite type of brown, if I want to be honest. But it's not really that big of a deal, because bronze Yoshi here is just going to be taking us through 4 boss fights. I should mention, those Yoshis we did unlock from beating the main game, I'm not going to be playing as any of them, simply because there's just too many Yoshis to go through. After I beat these bosses, I'll have to keep on leaving to swap the different Yoshi type. And I don't want to do that for all of them, because again, there is a lot of Yoshis. So we're not going to be showing those guys off, unfortunately, but you did get to see them there in the hub and the cutscenes. So there is at least that. Though this boss fight here against Big Montgomery, because of how quick he moves, I'm going to be very careful here. And I want to just take him out immediately before he gets to throw the spike balls. Unfortunately, I do have to wait around a little bit so I can grab myself one of the Monty Moles in order to get some eggs. But for the second and third phase, I want to hit him as soon as I can because I don't want to be dealing with fast-moving Big Montgomery and slow-moving spikes. That's a weird inconsistency about the boss tent. Some of the boss attacks aren't sped up. It's more or less whatever objects they throw at you. So if they throw enemies at you or spike balls, they still move at normal speed. But the bosses themselves move at hyper speed. So it's a little hard to dodge some of their attacks because of some things being fast and some things being slow. Really does not make this tent any easier to go through in my opinion. But now it's time to fight Miss Cluck once again. Miss Cluck here is when you start noticing this extra speed that all these bosses have, definitely starts to become a problem. Because it's very hard to hit this boss if you don't hit her immediately. If you miss a fraction of a second there to hit her, then Miss Cluck moves so fast to get away from you. If you don't have an egg to stun her, she'll probably get back up and tie herself back up in pants. So, yeah, this boss fight is definitely a lot harder because of how much faster it moves. I want to go ahead and grab these pants, but she is not cooperating. There we go. Got the pants. Gonna go ahead and throw an egg to stun her. Unfortunately, didn't really do that much there, but I had some time before she reformed back into her big body. Now we're into the third and final hit. I'm gonna go ahead and flutter around here. Be very careful because this wind has pushed me so far to the right. I just have to basically flutter until I can get back to the stage. Now I'm just gonna wait here. She's getting ready to attack. She's gonna move once and then twice. So dodge the second attack. Come on, Miss Cluck. Just move over here into the center. Thank you. Gonna go ahead and throw an egg to stun her for a second there. Grab more of her pants. Do the same thing again. Now, I just have to unravel her pants one more time. And I missed. Unfortunately, I took a hit there, but I still have a couple more hits to deal with, so it's not too big of a deal. Okay, Miss Cluck is really not cooperating right now. She's moving way too fast to keep up with. At this point, I'm better just playing things defensively than offensively. There we go. We unravel her pants, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this egg to stun her for a quick second. Ground pound one more time, and that's the boss fight. But how fast she moves, you really do not have much time to react. And Yoshi takes a split second to get his tongue out of his mouth and extend it as far as it goes. So that extra time that Miss Cluck is moving around and the fact that your tongue takes a little bit longer to get out of your mouth, it could be the make it or break of the boss fight. But now it's time to fight Notwing the Koopa once again. And this fight was in our water dungeon, so we have a lot of water to slow down Yoshi with a sped up turtle. You can definitely hear my tone of voice. I don't like this fight. It is a lot harder because of how fast this guy moves, but how slow we move because of the water. So I'm going to probably take a couple of hits here just because of how hard it is to dodge certain attacks in the water. As you notice here, with Notwing's in the background making these waves appear, the waves still move slow like they did normally in the fight, but Notwing moves extremely fast, so more of these waves appear faster. That's the problem here. The waves move slow. It's enough time for you to dodge, but there's so many that it's not as easy as it sounds. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my very best to stay away from Notwing here. I'm going to go ahead and just hover around this open spot. He jumps in. I almost jumped into his spikes. That would have been great. I would have had no one else to blame for that attack but myself. But that was it. That was our final hit. So Notwing is down once again. Just gotta fight him one more time, and then that's it for Notwing. There you go. That's a bunch of beads. Beads at this point really won't do much because we only have one more level to go through. But hey, the more beads we have, the better, because then we have more options going to our final level. But now it's time for Naval Piranha. This is honestly my least favorite fight in this tent, simply because of the second hit. I swear, the second hit in this boss fight is next to impossible with how fast it moves. So jumping right into things, as you can see, Naval Piranha moves very fast with her lunges, so it's very easy to get clipped by her. But the first hit here really isn't too bad because you just gotta shoot the bomb straight, and then you're good to go. Just be good on your reaction time, and then you should be able to hit her. Now let's just go ahead and dodge all these spikes that she's throwing at us here, and wait for new bombs to be thrown from the background. Now here's attack number 2 that we have to do. Since Naval Piranha comes from the bottom, We need to go ahead and throw this bomb in a very specific way, and it's so hard to hit Naval Piranha with. I swear, I just get lucky with the attack half the time, and that's the only way I can hit her. I do not like this boss fight in the boss tent, because it's just way too fast on the reaction time. Next to impossible to throw a bomb into her mouth is not good design in my opinion. That's why I'm not a fan of the boss tent. Issues like this are just very prone to occur. You have one more hit here, and I gotta be very careful because I have one more hit left too, so it's either one's game at this point. But let's just go ahead and throw our bomb into Naval Piranha's mouth, and that is it. Give me my yarn and get me out of here. That's Naval Piranha down for the second and final time. Now that we cleared all the bosses in the silver set here, we unlocked the Silver Yoshi. So now let's go ahead and leave the tent, and we can see Silver Yoshi just standing outside waiting for us. But Silver Yoshi is going to have to wait for his turn in the boss tent until next time. With that said, next time on Let's Play Yoshi's Woolly World, we'll finish up our remaining set of bosses here in the boss tent and take a look at this egg now that's appeared here in Craft Island. I'll see you guys next time.